Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids, and in today's video I want to show you a free-to-play accessible team, and in fact several different versions of this team, because I'm including a couple of fusion champions in this run behind me you may not have. I'll suggest how to replace those and mix it up. But yeah, this team can carry you through 95, maybe 98% of the stages in Doom Tower Hard. Beat every single stage in pretty much the most accessible way that you can. I'll probably do a second video as well over maybe in the next week or so, where I'll show you my non-budget team, what I actually use myself, which will do things more quickly or more consistently either. But yeah, this is such a great budget way to get into it. Now, I did a video on this way back when I started on the channel, and we have to address this right at the start, because it was one of those comments that had me just face palming with frustration. Because with this team, we're going to have champions built with good stats. This is the top of Doom Tower Hard, okay? So I think, for example, with that comment, it was like, you've got champions with 250 speed. That's not free to play friendly. Oh boy. What I want you to do, if you are free to play, please let me know how long you've been playing the game. If you've got a champion with 250 speed, let's try to find how short a time you can play the game for free to play before you're actually building champions at 250 speed. I'm intrigued. That comment almost made me quit. But just to put it in perspective, right, what we're using here, we're in over on hellhades.com. Let me actually zoom in a bit so it's easier for you guys to see. But you come down here to the raid stages tool and you can look for anything. I'm actually going to show you how to beat this floor as well. This is the most difficult wave in all of Doom Tower Hard. Across all three rotations, across everything, this is the most difficult wave. Double Siphi, triple Rotos. This is terrible, right? Because the Siphis keep cleansing all the Rotos, so you can't crowd control them, you can't lock them down, they will attack you, and so on. And part of what makes this so tough, and why I say you are going to need those good stats. If we look at this Siphi, she has, two of them have 264 speed. That's how fast they are. And they have 395 resistance. So you need 420 accuracy to beat that resistance. These are the sort of stats that you are going to need. So we need to establish that right from the start, because I cannot cope with another person saying, oh, like, you're showing gear that's like not free to play friendly. Obviously it is free to play. You just have to play long enough. And that's sort of what we're looking at. I would guess, roughly speaking, and my intention with this, I know for myself that was almost entirely free to play when I started playing. I did do a few months of the gem pack. So I spent about, let's say, in the first year of playing, I think I spent €60 on the monthly gem pack. I think I bought 6 months or so of that, very roughly. It took me, I'd say, about a year to be able to put this team together, and obviously enough based off the champions we have here. Let's dive into the team then. So we've already set up expectations. What is the idea of this team? How does it work? And it's very simple. We want three things with this team: control, control, control. Okay, that is what this team is entirely about. We are not looking for damage. We're not looking to get through this quickly. That's something that you can certainly do, but it's going to require very good gear, very good champions. That is tough to do. This is not easy. This is the top of Doom Tower Hard right here. We're just looking for control. These enemies are going to hit so hard. It's going to be crazy. Like, if we jump back to these stats for a second, like this Rotos right here, he's coming at you at 94,000 HP, 12,000 attack. Okay, not going to have much crit rate, but if he gets lucky, if he crits you, 94k HP, 12k attack Rotos, he's going to hit you really, really hard. Yeah. And same thing with any of these waves, so any of these fights. If any of these enemies get a go, they can absolutely start to destroy you. So we're looking to just lock them down and just keep them locked down. Let's actually go over it. Let's jump in and let's show this in action. And we break down exactly what this particular team is doing. So let's jump in and let me show it to you here right now live. Oh, don't go on auto. Well, let's redo that. I want to talk through. We've got the great idea here of talking through each champion individually. So right here, we've got Morrigan actually in the lead. This is champion number 1. She is more optional, and this is one that you may or may not have. She was a fusion around about 7 months ago. And again, I'd say we're looking to actually beat Doom Tower Hard. We're looking at playing for probably about a year to have, and this is my guess, playing for about a year to have the level of gear and, you know, to actually have Physics and Archmage helmet. About a year is roughly speaking what you're looking at. So if you are that far into the game, you will have Morrigan as well, so you could use her, but she's certainly replaceable. We'll talk about that. By the way, Physics, Archmage, and Syl are like the hardcore trio. They are all champions you absolutely will get, all within, well, Syl is 6-month login reward. She'd probably be the first. Archmage, it's about 3 clears of the secret rooms of Doom Tower normal. That's probably going to take you about 10 or 11 months, I'd say. And then Physics is going to take you 9 months. She's the 9-month login. So you will have each one of these champions, and they all combo perfectly together. We're going to break it down. Morrigan in the lead, Speed Aura. That's a big deal, right? When you are trying to get to like 260 speed, that's very hard to do. Speed auras make it much easier. So that's a big win. And I would strongly be trying to get either an accuracy or a speed aura, because they are really the only 2 stats that we really care about. The enemies are barely going to get to attack us at all. Defensive stats don't really matter. We don't care about damage. We will kill them eventually. Damage stats don't really matter. We just want to lock them down. How do we lock them down? Speed and accuracy just keep that crowd control going, keep the turn meter control going. Morrigan is really nice. So number 1, she does put out heal reduction with her passive. That's actually quite nifty. You can see it's up there. That's quite nifty for some of these waves, like Sky Touch Shaman, Siphis, things like that. That can be just healing with their passives. That can really slow you down. That helps. She has an AoE True Fear, actually. It is 100% when it's fully booked, I believe. Yeah. She has AoE True Fear on her A2 on a 3-turn cooldown. Then she also has turn meter manipulation, pushing them back, increasing hours and giving us speed. So that's great. Even a decreased speed on her A1. She's not the perfect champ for this, and I'll show you again some alternatives in there. But yeah, so she's going to be pretty good. We're going to prioritize mostly her A2. So we come in, boom, True Fear on all the enemies. So we've already established control. It's not perfect. They can still take a turn with True Fear, but that's sort of step 1. We actually have the fusion, the current fusion, Great Hoof Loriaka in here. So I built this stuff and I was recording this. Like I recorded this video right here. Actually, let me skip back, give you a little preview right there. I recorded this like yesterday, you know, in the morning, before all the fusion stuff came out. Okay, I did it in the morning. So yeah, I was... I was not expecting the fusion to be as difficult as it is at the summon rushes, and I'm not condoning that, okay? But I just wanted to show you how even a champion that is considered to be pretty bad, well, when you understand how this team works and putting it together, you can actually get stuff in here that's pretty functional. Again, I would say she's very replaceable, and I will suggest alternatives for you. But what does she do for us? Well, number 1, she's taking lots of turns because of her passive. That's great. Number 2, she brings us AoE decrease resistance, and that is going to help us with puzzle number 2, which is how do we get this much accuracy? 420 to beat it is a lot. Let me tell you, spoiler warning right now, I don't have 420 accuracy on all my champions. And in fact, let me be more clear, that floor is ridiculously hard. I'd say the normal things you're looking for, usually more like 250 speed is normal, and needing like 350 accuracy is more normal. You can see Lysandra here is 260, Riho 255, you know, 340 accuracy needed, 350 accuracy needed. They're the more usual numbers. That floor was the hardest one, okay? But even so, I don't have all my champions here with 350 accuracy. It's just hard to do with gear, okay? Decrease resistance, or an accuracy aura, or increase accuracy. All of those buffs are fantastic options to bring in to help get through and get past those requirements. In this case, we're going to run decreased resistance. Problem, we can weak hit, but that's okay. We also have Great Hoof Loriaka in a stun set to bring us some extra control. She also is going to bring us turn meter. So again, more control. Block debuffs. This is really nice. This is something I definitely recommend. This spot is I'd say the 5th spot here is very flexible. You could run damage. You could run like Artak. Maybe even Artak in a Provoker stun set be perfect. Good speed, pump out damage to the burns. You could just run a raw damage dealer. You know, you could run Rhonda. We'll actually show that too. A block debuff option is a really good one as well, though, to deal with some of those waves with nasty passives. In particular, I'm thinking of Torment. How do you deal with Torment waves? Having a block debuff champion will let you get through that. So that's what I like to bring in. We're going to have her open up with her A2, though. She can also steal buffs on her A1, which is kind of nice. So we're going to have her go in. Look at that. With the stun set, landed one stun. We actually managed to get decreased resistance on everyone. That's quite lucky. At this point, Archmage Helmet. For Epic Champion, you get him for free. He's the first reward from the Doom Tower Secret Rooms on normal difficulty, and he is fantastic. So he has a really good AoE stun on his A2. I believe it does book up to a 75% chance to stun. So it's not 100%, and whoever he targets won't be stunned, but it's a really good chance to stun the other 4 people in the wave. He gives himself turn meter with his A1 as well, and he also is going to give your team increased speed, crit rate, crit damage. It's going to speed up the run, and increased speed is, you know, big element number 1. Increased speed here, decreased speed on them, stuns, fears, provokes, you could use the taunt buff as well, all that sort of stuff. Sylve the Drakes is in next. No particular sets on Archmage Helmet, by the way. You can just give him as many stats as you want. He does need crit rate for the turn meter boost to be effective. So I recommend, and for the stun to work. So I do recommend simply building him 100% crit rate. Keep it simple, high speed, high accuracy. Sylve the Drakes, amazing champion. Brings the healing with her passive, brings her revive. She has an AoE double hit with the chance to stun. I think each hit maybe books to 30 or 35%. Don't remember off the top of my head. To be honest with you, I actually didn't realize that the tooltips in combat did not update with the booked values. It's weird. They've got the book cooldown, but not the booked values. It's strange. Anyway, it's pretty decent. We're actually going to run her with the Fearsome Presence Mastery. I'll show you all the builds to up the chance to stun, and we're going to put her in a stun set as well. So she's got the chance to stun from a stun set. She's got 2 chances from each hit here, and we're boosting all of those with Fearsome Presence. So she's going to come out the stun. She'll have the revive ready if we need it, and she's going to keep everyone healed up, right? Because it is possible that enemies are going to resist this sort of stuff, and it's not going to work. And look at this. Turn 1, boom. The entire enemy team, they all have True Fear and Stun. They are all double locked down. Even if one of those stuns failed, if one of the True Fears fail, there's redundancy here. We're building redundancy. Then we've got Physics. She's the final piece of the puzzle. Just an amazing champion. Turn meter steal on her A1. Brilliant. AoE, decrease speed, it is 100% with ally protection as well. So she helps keep you alive if they do hit you and if you're running provokes as well. But the decreased speed, that's the other part of this puzzle too. Decreasing their speed, increasing our speed, so we keep blasting them and they just can't escape this stun lock effectively. She also brings then, here we go, the AoE provoke on a 3-turn cooldown, which is fantastic. So she's going to come in with decreased speed, and look at this beautiful control. At this point, Great Hoop Loriaka starts boosting up. We start turn meter control. We come in with our next stun. We could even hit him right here. If we play it on manual, look, we missed one stun there. That's fine. I clicked the wrong person because I'm on manual. Oh well. Don't worry about it. We missed some stuns. We come in with the provoke and we're all good. We'll land in this again, land even more stuns. And like we can hit auto and, you know, you can watch us smash through this wave. Here we go. So you can see the rest of how this wave works. And this is what you can do. So if you've got a bit worse gear than me, and I'll show you the gear. If you've got some worse champions, you're filling in with just some bad champions that say, oh, I've got Relentless. I forgot to say on Mara game. Give her extra turns to cycle through that stuff. They might get a turn here. This guy might get a turn with his fear. Let's see. He might get one move in. Never mind. He was stunned. Locked down. Yeah, if you are going to struggle, or if wave 2 or wave 3 are difficult, what you can do, and I'll show this to you here as well, is you can totally auto the first half of the wave. And then when enemies start dying, when you come to the last 2 or 3, you can just start blasting them down with their A1s, right? Syl with stun set. Great Hoop Lorica with stun set are still going to stun on their A1. Vizix, all that turn meter steal on their A1. You're still actually going to be locking them down pretty effectively. Sorry, actually, I left it run a bit too far. I just got a call from the vet. You know, our poor puppy, she goes through a lot. We had a urine sample in today. You guys know with her whole history, she gets recurrent UTIs and stuff because she has her urinary system is basically totally messed up. Good bit fixed now, but not perfect. So she did have another UTI. It's all clear. So yeah, urine sample, boom, it's all clear. Everything is good, which is great. We're off on holiday for like a week, and she's going to stay with my girlfriend's parents for a week. So at least there's that relief, is that she's healthy and happy going there. And probably by the time we get back, she'd be like, yes, I'm sick again now. We'll see. Hopefully not. Where was I? Let's come into this. So, okay, this is already maybe gone a little bit far, but I think we'll be fine. So we can come in and we can just start whittling them down with our A1s, right? Just make sure that we're going to have our key abilities ready to go, so we don't really need to worry. I'm actually going to target, this guy does have a revive, so I'm actually going to target him down and make sure that we take him down. So here you go, boom, he's dead, brilliant. Smack him again. And look, you know, with our residual buffs, even still pumping out some increased speeds, but with the turn meter control, with that decreased speed, okay, he gets one move off. It's not a big deal. Bam, down he goes. We come to wave 2 now. Okay, and we didn't quite have all of our moves back up because I was a little bit slow, but we should have most of them, and it shouldn't be a big problem. Like, I could have gone in actually maybe with Archmage's stun right there just to keep us safe, but I think we're going to be fine. In fact, yeah, look, all of them are stunned. We can come in and we can be like, yo, steal this thing, and we're good to go. And that's something you could do as well. You could be like, Seeker is going to be really annoying. Actually, in this case, I'd say maybe Gorgrab has the revive. We don't want him to get that off. So we could target Gorgrab and be like, right, let's just target him down. In particular, cleansers are the ones that are dangerous, right? And you can go. So for example, let's jump back over here. So this, we full auto through most of the waves. We did fail eventually. So where we failed was over here, where again, I left them full auto, and they full auto through 6 floors. This was the 7th floor. Riho Bone Spear, a bit of a problem because she's a cleanser, right? So that's where you'd want to target her. Make sure you've got her locked down, because look, this is where this went wrong. They get some turns. That's not a problem too much, but Riho didn't get debuffed there. And yeah, look at that. She resisted both stuns and she got the cleanse off. And then we all die, right? Because of that. And that's fine. You could just rerun it. Probably even rerunning that once. Now I look at it there. She didn't get affected by Syl stuns. She didn't get affected by Archmage's stuns. That's kind of unlucky, but you will fail sometimes with bad luck. That's okay. You can rerun it again, or like I said, you can target those survivors if you're really concerned, and it's going to make it more simple and straightforward. Let me show you. Oh, they're still going. Right, let's end out this battle. Each run is going to take you quite a while. It's going to take like 6 or 7 minutes. Like for example, the floor I showed you right there was floor 111. Okay, it took me 169 turns. I think this one took only 5 minutes. It's quite a squishy floor. So yeah, it's not too bad. Let me show you the builds on these particular champions. I also see Archmage needs to come out of the vault. And then let me show you a couple of other things as well. Actually, before we do that, let me see. Battle number 4. I know this is one of the most difficult floors for a lot of people, is dealing with these Mortu Macabres. So again, this works perfectly here. Like Mortu Macabre, right? You come in against these Mortus. If they take even a turn, remember, what's the deal with Doom Tower Hard? These Mortus, super tanky, right? Because the Doom Tower Hard stacks. If they take it, you know, so you're going to smack them a lot. Mortu with his secret skill, okay? He's going to come in and he's going to unlock his secret skill Peril, which ignores defense and blocks revive. He's just going to start picking off your team and there's nothing you can do. How do you deal with it? Again, this type of team deals with it. Control, control, control. It's Mortu is just never going to get a turn. He's going to unlock the secret skill, sure. It's going to be constantly unlocked. We're smacking him over and over and over again, but he's never actually going to get to use it. We're just going to run circles around this Mortu. Both these two Mortus, in fact. And same thing, I think the harder version of this is on, maybe, let me check it. But you can see exactly how that works. I think it's in maybe rotation 1. Oh, I don't remember the floor. Is it 109 maybe? I'll make one guess. I'm guessing it's 109. Am I right? I think I'm right, yeah. So this would be the hardest version of it with 2 Mortus, but 2 Sky Touch, so 2 cleansers. So again, you can see for this wave, you'd only need 315 accuracy. It's a bit easier. The Sky Touch are 246 speed, so you could ditch your stats a little bit and still beat this very difficult wave in Doom Tower Rotation 1. I think these are some of the most difficult ones. So yeah, and there you can see, bam, we're through this floor, even full auto, and it's no problem, right? This sort of team. Let's look at the stats on these champions and what we're going to be doing. So Morrigan up first, she is in Relentless to just cycle through her turns, get out the heal reduction. And we are building her up with, again, the key things, high speed, trying to get as much speed as possible. And you can see I'm way over on the accuracy. The most we'd ever need is 420. Most floors 350, so I'm way overkill. So my gear's pushing it too far. That's okay. For the Masteries, I put her like this. More turn meter there if we are crit. and so on. Like turn meter when our debuffs expire. I could probably honestly have switched over and gotten her turn meter when her buffs expire too. This is sort of built for arena, but it works totally fine here. So she's doing that. Not going to do any damage. She's just going to control. And she's a really good champ for this. So she is great for that. You know, I'm looking for things like, it doesn't really matter, just as much speed as you can on the gloves. Accuracy on the chest, great thing to do if you need accuracy. Speed boots, of course. We're looking for probably accuracy with speed. Yeah, on the banner. You're probably looking for a necklace with as much accuracy as you can. Simple stuff. And like I said, speed and accuracy are really the only stats we care about. Next up was Great Hoof Loriaka, the current fusion. So she is in stun set with Righteous as well. So she's coming in 266 speed and 399 accuracy. So we do want her specifically, because she puts decreased resistance, does need very high accuracy. That decreased resistance is going to make everything much easier for us though. So for example, let me see the hardest wave. Let's go back to that with Siphi. Is 114 hard. So she has 395. So if we give her, what is it, 50% decreased resistance? Yeah, 50% decreased resistance. That's rounded out. Let's say she goes down to 200 resistance. At that point, you're going to need, what, 325 accuracy on everybody? It becomes much to be 100%. So again, like you can go in with about 300-ish accuracy and be almost 100% against her if you have that decreased resistance on. So, you know, that's something to consider. I didn't actually do that in the Siphi wave, which I will show you though. But yeah, she's got whatever. Stun set. Like I said, her masteries actually, she is going into War Master for a bit more damage. You can totally run her into Fearsome Presence to make the stun a bit more consistent, whatever you want. But yeah, she's not an amazing champion, to be honest. So yeah, but you could see she's bringing three things: the turn meter, the block debuffs, and the AoE decrease resistance. Those are all useful things, and we're using all of those in this team. I just thought it was fun to showcase her doing stuff well. Even, you know, a mediocre champion can be very useful in a team built around them in this case. But she's very replaceable. Then we got the three core members, as it were. We've got, I think, Archmage first. He's in double perception and accuracy. And he is coming in 244 speed, 100% crit rate, and 376 accuracy. In fact, I can tell you this is almost identical to the gear that I actually built him in the first time I cleared through Doom Tower normal. Almost identical. Sorry, Doom Tower hard. Almost identical. He has War Master and these. Again, you could give him Fearsome Presence and Stun Set and stuff if you wanted as well. But he works fine like this. He's brilliant. Seal of the Drakes, again, in very similar gear to the first time I cleared Doom Tower hard. Stun Set, Perception. She's coming in 238 speed, 310. So you can see these champions I built back then are about 20 speed slower than what I'm building now. And they're lower accuracy as well. So this is more like what you might be building, but it still works. I'll show you the exact team I used to beat it the first time I beat Doom Tower hard about a year into the game. So again, you're looking for speed, you're looking for the accuracy, and that's sort of it. And Fearsome Presence is very important with her, just to up all those chances of her stuns. And then Vizix, finally, War Master on Vizix, great champion. Double speed resilience, you know, a lot of 5-star gear in here, very early game stuff. 5-star gear, 6-star rare gear, you know, a lot. We got one 6-star epic piece, you know, so very achievable stats. 230 speed, 342 accuracy, even 85% crit rate and some defense. So very achievable by the time that you get her. It's almost the same gear I've always had on her. Fantastic champion, probably deserves better gear. Those are her masteries if I didn't show it. Let me actually show you other champions here. These are the other three that I've subbed in this particular run. But we've got Mithrala coming with these stats and these masteries. We're going to use her, and we're going to use Rhonda in very good gear, I would say. So 6.7k attack, 242% crit damage. So much better gear here. And these masteries. And then even Inquisitor Shamael. I'm not going to show you, but I'll tell you what he can do as well with these masteries right here. So let me actually, yeah, before we jump into the next run, let me show you this. So I'll show you the Siphi. We'll finish with the Siphi wave, which is what those other three champions were about. Possible substitutions to give you an idea. This is what I ran the first time. This is the first time I beat Doom Tower hard, was this. Obviously, at the time, I didn't have any blessings. We didn't have any of that. Didn't exist. This was like a year and a half ago when I did this. But I had Yoshi. What does Yoshi bring? Speed Aura. Fantastic. Increase accuracy and an AoE True Fear. Brilliant. Brilliant. He even has a chance to stun on his A1. He's got some burns and decreased accuracy on his A2. So that is fantastic. So Yoshi, with high speed and good accuracy, he's going to come in and fear and give us the increased accuracy. And that's how I was able to get through these waves with Syl being kind of low on accuracy. She's still going to land it all. She's going to have increased accuracy nearly all of the time. And that extra stun on his A1 is quite nice for when you're trying to A1 down the waves. So he's a brilliant champion for this, pretty much MVP, I would say, if you have him. Obviously, he was a fusion at the time when I first did this, but he's no longer. It's been a long time, And then Brogni, again, was a fusion back in the day, but a long time ago, but brilliant as well. Block debuffs and a big shield to keep us alive. And that's basically it. He's just giving us that smooth consistency, no crowd control, right? But giving us just that survivability so that, yeah, when those hits do come in, we can take it no problem. We don't have to worry about torments or whatever. But again, you could switch him out, and I would have switched him out for other stuff too. Like you could put in, let me tell you, the most budget option that you could bring in, brilliant champion, brilliant rare champion, great budget option. Where is he? Here he is, Bellower, fantastic. Bellower comes in, give him good speed, give him a stun set, and he's just going to pump out AoE attacks constantly. Even block active skills on his A1. He could just spam his A1 over and over again. Good chance to stun and blocking their active skills so they can't cleanse. Fantastic. He even got backup mini decreased speed, mini decreased defense, mini decreased attack. Great budget option to throw in there if you need to round it out. So anything like that, you guys sort of see the idea. Looking for, if you don't have the speed aura, you're going to have to build your speeds higher because you need to be faster than the waves. You need to beat that 260 Lysandra. You need to beat the 264 Siphi. You need to beat them. If you don't beat them in speed, you're not beating Doom Tower hard. You're going to get destroyed. It's that simple. It's not a matter, again, going back to the start of the video, of free to play or spender. It's just you got to play long enough to get that gear. If you don't have the gear, you're going to lose. That's it. End of story. So here we go, against the Siphi wave. I find this very tough, actually, with this sort of team. So you can see here, we've actually subbed out Vizix, and we have subbed out Great Floriaka. We've brought in Rhonda, and the reason is this is the hardest. This is by far the hardest one. All the other waves and all the other rotations only have one Siphi. One Siphi is infinitely easier, right? Because you come in, you kill the Siphi, and you're good to go. In fact, let me show you the easiest way to do that is Inquisitor Shamail, and then we'll watch the rest of that run because it's a nasty one. So this one is very, very tough. So if we come in and I'll do it like so. So actually I got it recently used. I think I had it like this, I think. I don't exactly remember the full setup I had, but let me show you how this would work. So we will come in. I think against this wave, we'll actually open with the increased speed. We actually got lucky there. We got the fear as well. That's fine. Oh man, we're getting all the turns. That's cool. Here we go. We'll give us increased attack as well. We could give ourselves even more damage. I think that's probably worthwhile. Go for stuns. Okay, good. So we stun this Siphi. We actually stun both of them. This one's higher health, but look, Inquisitor Shamail, he's got this hit, ignores 25% defense and a further 25 for each buff on this champion. So 3 buffs, he ignores all defense. Bang, bang, bang. 2 hits and she's dead, right? 2 hits and now he's super squishy. So against one Siphi waves, this works super well. Very easy because you kill the Siphi and then all the Rotus are still crowd controlled and you're good. This is going to be a bit harder. So again, it's much, in fact, not just a bit harder. This is really, really hard. So you could totally do it with him. I actually did it with Rhonda in the end. And you can sort of see some of the stuff going on. So we resurrect Rhonda. We go in then with the shield from Mithrala to try keep us alive. And we're just trying to try kill off one of these Siphis and then hopefully crowd control the other one. We can steal her buffs even with Morrigan, which is pretty slick. Go for the stun there. Didn't quite get it. But we've got increased attack from what's her face. I actually went in with an A1 there, which is kind of dumb. I should have just gone with the A3 AoE, but well, it's fine. And again, we're just focusing on these Siphis because it doesn't matter what the others do. It doesn't matter. They, like the Rotus, are going to get their turns. You can see they're stealing our health. They're going to wreck us. Going on that decreased speed. Actually, she just stolen the buffs off Rotus. Doesn't matter a huge deal, but there was no reason not to. And yeah, so it's messy. It's tough. We're going to save the shield for when Rhonda comes back. She's so squishy. You do the same thing with your Shamail. And I found that this team was was how I got through it. It's pretty rough, but once we kill the final, or once we get back to Rhonda's A2, it actually blocks the passive skills. So once we land that on the second Siphi, we're golden. The Rotis are gonna, the Rotises are gonna be locked down. I don't know what you would call them. Right, so she's actually gonna res the other Siphi, which is annoying. We're gonna actually come in and block that Siphi from doing her moves with the block active skills as well from Rhonda, which is just fantastic. Bam, in your corner comes in, she finishes him off. We can steal the buff, great. Push the turn meter back, and Siphi's almost dead. Cleansing just to be safe. You can actually go in with A3, and boom, there you are. It's that easy, and we're done. When I say it's that easy, I mean this is the hardest wave. It's a pain, but yeah, we get through. So at this point, like, we finish off the Rotai, we come over to wave 2. You'll see how much easier wave 2 is. So we just push them back, do the thing. We're actually going to go in and stun. So pick your least, the least threatening target to get the guaranteed stun on. And then we come in, we block the passive skills, and now the Rotises are still going to be feared and whatever. Like, so suddenly it's really easy, right? We block the passives with Rhonda, and it's easy. Again, if you don't have Rhonda, you need to one-shot the Siphi so the crowd control stays on. So you're going to need to use like something like a Shamail or another really, really big, really well-geared single target hitter. I think part of the reason Shamail is so good is if they failed there, whoops, unlucky. Part of the reason Shamail is so good is, if I show you his stats, 4.4k attack, 240% crit damage. Like, his damage, he one-shot Siphi easily one-shot Siphi. You compare that to the Rhonda gear I'm using, which is 6.7k attack, right? Much worse gear. He's even just in some stone skin. He's in just whatever. Much easier to get him to actually kill the Siphi, so you can beat the Siphi waves with him. Those would be my suggestions. Again, there's other options, but this video is already long enough. We've covered tons of stuff. I really do hope that you've enjoyed it. I hope that you picked up some tips. I hope it was helpful. But yeah, again, beating all of Doom Tower hard on a really big budget here. It's going to take you a while to get there, but when you get there, you can absolutely do it. Just remember, it's all about that control. Control, control, control. The free champions are insanely good for this. And always be looking out as well for fusions, like Morrigan in particular is really good. Grey 2 Floriaka is okay, but any sort of fusion like that that's bringing in control. You could bring in Razzlevarg for speed aura, increase accuracy. You could do anything like that. They're all going to be brilliant, and they're going to really help you through. Thank you for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed. Thumbs up if you did. I will see you all next time. Goodbye.